Hello flower friends, I am in Chelsea today to talk to you about Chelsea in bloom and Belgravia in bloom and what to expect, the themes, the date and how to navigate all these different streets, where to find the best locations and even what to wear. Let's go. So let's kick off with what is Chelsea in bloom and Belgravia in bloom. So Chelsea in bloom and Belgravia in bloom are basically on at the same time as RHS Chelsea Flower Show, which is the big professional flower show with all these incredible, talented designers and gardeners and landscapers all coming together to showcase their best flowers. It's a ticketed event and it's on for about a week every single May in Chelsea. It's very exciting. It's very near Sloane Square. And because of that, the retailers in the area of Chelsea, the surrounding street, have decided over the years to put on their own free flower festival by decorating their shops and creating these incredible displays which are on at the exact same time, except this is free to visit just by roaming around Chelsea. Aren't we so lucky? And I should also say Belgravia. Belgravia tends to be like a bit of an add-on, even though it shouldn't be, just because Chelsea, obviously Chelsea Flower Show, Chelsea in bloom, but Belgravia is just as wonderful and it's just the set of streets next door. So I tend to do both of these events in one, and they actually, bizarrely, have different themes each year. So they kind of have their own separate little things, but flowers are flowers, guys, and you know me, I'm always here for it. So usually Chelsea in bloom and Belgravia in bloom will start on a Monday. It's usually the second or third week of May, so check the calendar and the dates and the websites before you even set off. Because it spans over a week and because it's free, you can go at any time. You don't need ticket. You just come into Sloane Square, leave the station, and you'll be greeted with so many incredible displays. Retailers put an awful lot of effort into these displays. So you'll see fresh flowers, mainly. A lot of the time you'll see fake flowers too, but it's the ones that are the fresh flowers that are the obviously hardest to control and hardest to keep well. So if it is a particularly hot week or a very windy week or a bad weather week, I recommend going as early in that week as possible because the weather will really affect those real flowers. Obviously everyone will do their best, but they'll be at their peak when they first go up. So I go first thing on a Monday if I can. Sometimes you might find, because Chelsea Flower Show really starts on the Tuesday for the public, you might find that some retailers are still putting them up on the Monday, but actually it's really lovely to see them putting them up, being able to see the florists at work and even chat to them about what they're doing and see the themes. It's just such an enjoyable process. So whatever time you actually visit, whether even it's the end of that week, you'll still enjoy seeing all the beautiful work and creativity that's gone into them. So let's talk about themes. Chelsea in bloom and Belgravia in bloom have separate themes, which can mean that if you're trying to wear a certain outfit or get a certain look or look at a certain type of flower, you might find that they're very different. Last year, Chelsea had floral feasts, which were lots of food-related amazing displays. There were giant cherries on the corner of Sloane Square. You had Lady in the Tramp, which was so cool, all in flowers on Sloane Street. But Belgravia had a completely separate one, which was flowers and games. So you had Snakes and Ladders, which was so cool by Neil Strain. I think there was even Monopoly. There was like a spinning wheel at the Harry. Honestly, I love the creativity every time. I just think it's so incredible. We've had British icons in the past, which was loads of red, white and blue and Union Jacks and the Mini Cooper, like classic planes, even like London buses and TfL, lots of British icons like that. We had the Summer of Love when Harry and Meghan got married. There was a giant red bus like smashing through one of the windows. And for 2025, the theme for Chelsea is fashion and flowers. So I'm feeling like it's going to be like a Met Gala level of cool. I can't wait to see how they interpret trends, how they bring clothes into it, like what they might do. There's also obviously quite a lot of clothing retailers in this area, so this is a chance to have so much fun with it. For Belgravia, this year they're looking at the seasons. I don't know how they're going to interpret this. Is it going to be like Christmas? Are we going to have spring and summer and then autumn leaves? I just can't wait. So what are the best streets for Chelsea in bloom and Belgravia in bloom? Well, the best thing to start with is to go on their website because both of them have maps, information, they have pictures of the retailers. Obviously this doesn't go up until the day because obviously they can't take pictures until the day, but a lot of the times they've been supplied and information, so you can kind of try and start to work out which ones that you want to go and see. You can also look on Instagram because people like me and lots of people from London will be in there like a whippet and we'll be sharing all our photos. So if there's something particularly like taking your fancy fancy, you want to get straight there. Don't pass go, don't collect £200, get to the one you want. One of my particular favorites is, I think it's called the Eccleston Hotel, and I love going there. And actually, I wouldn't have found it just by wandering around the normal Chelsea streets because it's a bit further away from Sloane Square. So I'm really pleased that people share their photos and you get to go and see all the nice bits. So photo tips. It's always going to be a bit of a challenge getting a shot at somewhere as popular as this. Obviously, there's a lot of street traffic and quite clearly there'll be a lot of people wanting to get their own shot. So my advice is go as early in the day as you can. Obviously, some shops won't open until 9 or 10 or whatever, but you can check the opening hours. But still, get in there early. Even if it's shut, you'll still get the display and you'll be able to wander around and find the best places for you. Next up, be fast. Get somebody who's going to be able to take a great photo of you and fast, and tell them, you can like line up your camera and say, oh, if you just do like this angle, and then you can just shoot in there, get your shot and get out, and say like quickly, like just do a couple of photos and then I'll do a little video and then I'll go. And have a think about how you might want to do transitions before you set off. For example, if you want to be walking towards the camera every time, or maybe you want to be twirling every time, or maybe you want to be doing a transition of some description, putting your hand over the lens. Think about all that before you get going because it's very busy and there's stacks of displays. I think there's like 100 retailers taking part in this, so you don't want to be like faffing around and not sure what you're doing. And also some tips on what to wear. So first of all, make sure you wear something comfortable on your feet because you'll be doing quite a lot of walking. I think that if you do all of the displays in Belgravia and also Chelsea and you try and do all of them together, I think it would probably take about half a day. So make sure you've like giving yourself some time. If you try to rush it, of course you can rush it. You can just rush around Sloane Square and do the surrounding streets really quickly and get back on the train. But if you want to really immerse yourself and look for those ones that are down like side streets, properly like get the good shots. For example, one year there was a hotel that had a throne with a crown, and oh my god, if it wasn't like the best shot ever. And I was so pleased to have the time to get there and do that shot. And if the weather's a bit iffy, it's a bit rainy, you want that flexibility to be able to go into a cafe, have a bit of time and come back out again. If you're thinking about clothing to wear, I'd recommend again doing your research. Try and have a look at whatever the theme is. It's either think about your brand or think about the flowers. I tried to do both, obviously. For the year when it was like British icons, for example, I wore this like bright red blazer dress and it was absolutely perfect for that. But in other years where it's been different kind of themes, I've had tulle skirts on and bright pink coats. So I think you can really mix and match. You'll always find something that you're going to go perfectly with, and there's probably always going to be something that you're not going to look so perfect with. Something like a white dress, which I wore, was actually a real classic because it went with everything. Although when I look back, I'm like, maybe something more vibrant might have been nice. But if you're shooting lots of different places, you're just going to have to go and pick something that you're really happy with, that goes with a lot of things, and dive in and enjoy. And don't be so like strict about it either. Like, you know, we're just having fun and it's flowers. What can possibly go wrong? Also, if you're really stuck, there's a Zara. There's loads of clothing shops around here. If you absolutely were so upset about your outfit, you could probably do something about it. Not that I'm telling you to spend money, of course. For food and drinks, oh my God, you are spoilt for choice. There are stacks and stacks of places to go for food and drink. First of all, Peter Jones on the corner has a rooftop cafe that is just so easy. It does get quite busy over Chelsea Flower Show, unsurprisingly, because everyone's streaming out the tube and going straight in there for a coffee. But it is a real winner. If it is too busy and you want something a bit more upmarket but less busy, try Vardo, which is actually just behind me here in Duke of York Square. But just roaming around, you'll be spoilt for choice. There's loads of places on Pavilion Road. There's also lots of places in Duke of York Square, as I said, and even on King's Road too. In Belgravia, Elizabeth Street is my pick for little places to go. There's Tom Tom Cafe, there's Pink Peggy Portion, and there's a new place called Clio as well, which I haven't tried, but it's on my list. Let's talk route now, because this is my optimum route to get all of those places in. So you've done your research, you've got your comfy shoes on, you've got your cute outfit, and we're ready to go. So my first tip is to start at Sloane Square, because it's where you're going to come out. And in the middle of Sloane Square, there's usually a really big floral piece there. So definitely like stop by that. But I am always basically trying to get as fast as possible to the most luxury shops on Sloane Street. Tiffany, Cartier, Hackett put on amazing displays. Now, I think they might have been put off some years because of the roadworks that are happening there. They are gone now. This street looks incredible. They've done so much work to make it look lovely. Further up the street, they used to do some displays, and I've seen amazing ones over the years. But these days, they don't seem to do as many towards the Harvey Nichols side. It's more down towards Sloane Square. So that's where I'd definitely start. These are the ones that are super luxury and seem to have all of the real flowers. So the the really, really difficult, hard to keep alive, hard to put together, really luxury options are there. While you're in that area, have a look at the surrounding streets, because you'll find that things like Pavilion Road will have loads of lovely displays as well. Down that street, there's always lots of lovely things. There's particularly a really lovely hotel as well. If they're doing their displays, again, with the throne, it's definitely worth popping by there. After that, I'm saying to head to King's Road. Now, what I would do is come onto King's Road, and the side that you're on at the time, on the right-hand side, I would go up that side, and then when you're satisfied, you can cross over and come back. King's Road always has some lovely options. I've seen like huge popcorn outside of Rixo when they did their movie theme, giant displays of fairgrounds, like a Mary Poppins thing when they did like a flowers and film theme. But come down the other side of King's Road, and then when you get there, come to here, which is Duke of York Square, because here there's another central display. I've seen like a tower of cakes before here. They definitely always do something really fun. And there's usually like a little tunnel thing, which is covered in flowers too. Once you finish that, that's like most of the bulk of like Chelsea in bloom, I would say. Now you're almost back at Sloane Square. You can take a break around there. There's lots of little cafes and restaurants. But what I normally do is I carry on to Belgravia in bloom, and I start at Elizabeth Street, which has Peggy Portion on it and Les Senteurs, and they've usually got displays up. Carry on then to Eccleston Yard, which is near Victoria. And if you need to go home at that point, you can. But for extra points, you can go all the way to Neil Strain. And these are like your more like fun, beautiful displays. Peggy Portion always has something fun and pink up. Neil Strain always goes all out. They had like a Jumanji theme or a Jungle Book theme. One year, they did these amazing seahorses. They did like a jungle theme around a phone book. Like honestly, you'll see some really beautiful things. And do your research before you set off if you're not sure, because by this point, you might be getting a bit tired. And maybe book yourself like a breakfast for afterwards or a brunch or a lunch. Do keep in mind that some retailers will take part in some years and not others. Usually due to their marketing calendars, how much budget they've got, theme maybe it doesn't fit them, scaffolding or roadworks outside their store, and they've just opted out. So you can never kind of guarantee what you're going to see. My advice is to do your research, but be flexible on what you expect to get. I hope that's really helpful, and I hope you really enjoy Belgravia in bloom and Chelsea in bloom. I would love to know that you found this helpful. So let me know in comments, and please do like and subscribe, and I can do even more of these. Have a great time.